Hello. Um, I am going to be making a video on Hillary Clinton's new book called What Happened. This is not going to be an ASMR video. I did just upload an ASMR video. So if you like ASMR and don't like videos that are not ASMR, you can watch both. However, this video is for those who do not like ASMR but still want to read Hillary Clinton's new book. This is about her story, about the election, how she felt, how she was doing, how she is now, etc. I'm going to be starting on page 24. I tried hard to let go of the burden of putting on a happy face, of reassuring everyone that I was totally fine. I knew I would be fine eventually, but for those early weeks and months, I wasn't fine at all. And while I didn't spill my guts to everyone who crossed my path, I did answer honestly when asked how I was doing. It'll be okay, I'd say, but right now it's really hard. If I was feeling defiant, I'd respond bloody but unbowed, a phrase from Invictus, Nelson Mandela's favorite poem. If they wanted to commiserate over the latest reports from Washington, sometimes I'd confess about how mad it all made me. Other times I'd say, I'm just not quite up for talking about this. Everyone understood. I also let people do things for me. This doesn't come easily to me, but Chelsea pointed out, Mom, people want to do something helpful. They want you to let them. So when a friend said that she was sending me a box full of her favorite books, and another said he was coming up for the weekend, even if it was just to take a walk together, and another said she was taking me to see a play wherever I wanted to go or not, or whether I wanted to go or not, I didn't protest or argue. For the first time in years, I didn't have to consult a complicated schedule. I'd just say yes without a second thought. I thought a lot about my mother. A part of me was glad she wasn't around to experience another bitter disappointment. My narrowly losing the Democratic nomination to Barack Obama in 2008 had been hard for her. Although she tried to let me see it. Although she tried never to let me see it. Mostly I just missed her. I wanted to sit down with her, hold her hand, and share all my troubles. Friends advised me on the power of Xanax and raved about their amazing therapists. Doctors told me they've never subscribed so many antidepressants in their lives. But that wasn't for me. Never has been. Instead, I did yoga with my instructor, Marianne Letizia, especially breath work. If you've never done alternate nostril breathing, it's worth a try. Sit cross-legged with your left hand on your thighs and your right hand on your nose. Breathing deeply from your diaphragm, place your right thumb on your right nostril and your ring and little fingers on your left. Shut your eyes and close off your right nostril, breathing slowly and deeply through your left. Now close off your right nostril, breathing slowly and deeply through your left. Oh, now close both sides and hold your breath. Exhale through the right nostril, then reverse it. Inhale through the right, close it, and exhale through the left. The way it's been explained to me, this practice allows oxygen to activate both the right and side of the brain, which is the source of your creativity and imagination, and the left side, which controls reason and logic. Breathe in and out, completing the cycle a few times. You will feel calmer and more focused. It may sound silly, but it works for me. It wasn't all yoga and breathing. I also drank my share of Chardonnay. I spent time in nature. The day after my concussion, Bill and I were in an arboretum near our home. It was a perfect time of year for traipsing, crisp but not freezing. With the smell of fall in the air, we were lost in thought when we met a young woman out hiking with her 3-month-old daughter strapped to her back and her dog underfoot. She seemed a little embarrassed to stop and greet us, but she said she couldn't help herself. She needed to give me a hug. It turned out I needed to. Later that day, she posted a photo of us on Facebook, which quickly went viral. The HRC in the wild meme was born. Throughout November and December, Bill and I laced up our shoes and hit the trails again and again, slowly working through why I lost, what I could have done better, and what in the world was going to happen to America now. We all spent a fair amount of time talking about what we'd have for dinner that night, or what movie to watch next. I took on projects. In August 2016, we'd bought the house next door, a classic ranch we had always liked the looks of, with a backyard that connected to ours. The idea was to have plenty of room for Chelsea, Mark, their kids, and our brothers and their families and our friends. Plus, I was getting a little ahead of myself and thinking about how to accommodate the larger team that travels with the president. Through September and October, we had been quickly remodeling, but with the campaign in high gear, there hadn't been much time to think about any of that. Now I had nothing but time on my hands. I spent hours going over plans with the contractor and my interior decorator and friend, Rosemary Howe. Paint, swatches, furniture, a swing set for the backyard. Over the fireplace, I hung a vintage suffragette banner that Mark had given me that declared votes for women in the family room. We put up a colorful painting of the ballroom drop at the Democratic National Convention. Bill and I had both gotten a kick out of those balloons, Bill especially, a memory of happier times. By Thanksgiving, the work of the house was done. That morning, I walked around making sure everything was perfect before our friends and family descended for dinner. At one point, I stood on the front porch and saw some people gathered down at the corner of our street around a bunch of colorful house-made thank you signs stuck in the ground. Kids from the neighborhood that made them for me for Thanksgiving, covered in hearts and rainbows and American flags. It was one of the many kind gestures, not just from friends and loved ones, but also from complete strangers, that made that first month more bearable. Every Thanksgiving, it's become our tradition since leaving the White House to host a bunch of Chelsea's friends who don't travel home for the holidays, who hail from other countries and want to experience an American Thanksgiving in all its glory. There are always 20 or 30 of us sitting around long folding tables decorated with leaves, pine cones, and votive candles. Nothing too high blocking people's views, so conversation moves easily back and forth. We start our meal with Grace by Bill, and then go around the table so everyone can say what he or she is thankful for during the past year. When it is my turn, I said I was grateful for the honor of running for president and for my family and friends who supported me. Back in our old house, I organized every closet in blitz of focused energy that set our dogs scurrying for every room I entered. I called friends and insisted they take a pair of shoes they'd once liked or a blouse I suspected would fit just right. I have been that pushy friend, so most of them knew to expect it. I also organized jumbled heaps of photos into albums, threw out stacks of old magazines and disintegrating newspapers clippings, and sorted through probably a million business cards that people had handed me over the years. With every gleaming drawer and every object placed in its correct appointed spot, I felt satisfied that I had made my world just a little more orderly. Some of my friends pushed me to go on a vacation, and we did get away with Chelsea, Mark, and the grandkids for a few days to the Mohonk Mountain House, a favorite spot of mine in upstate New York. But after 20 months of nonstop travel for the campaign, on top of 4 years of global trotting as Secretary of State, I just wanted to sit in my quiet house and be still. I tried to lose myself in books. Our house is packed with them, and we keep adding more. Like my mother, I loved mystery novels and could plow through one in a single sitting. Some of my recent favorites are by Louis Penny, Jacqueline Winspear, Donna Leon, and Charles Todd. I finished reading Elena Ferrante's 4 Napoleon novels and relish the story they tell about friendship among women. Our shelves are weighed down with volumes about history and politics, especially biographies of presidents, but in those first few months, they held no interest to me whatsoever. I went back to things they'd gotten me joy or solace in the past, such as Maya Angelou's poetry. And then she talks about a lot of different poetry that she writes down from her favorite artist, from her favorite poet. And yeah, Hope you guys enjoyed. And if you would like to purchase this book, it is sold in bookstores near you. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.